Are you tired of getting demonetized? Do you wish that YouTube would just tell us what we are and are not allowed to be posting in our videos? Well, as it turns out, even the guys over at YouTube don't know all the answers. But I do. Well, sort of. So with the help of YouTube expert CeeLo, I've gone ahead and created a long list of words that will get you demonetized. Now before I show you the list, I have a couple of disclaimers. Number one, this list is not going to solve all of your monetization problems. There are a lot of factors that go into demonetizing a video, and having the wrong word in a title is only one of those. And disclaimer number two is that this list is going to be constantly changing. So this demonetization detector is based around a machine learning AI, meaning it's constantly scanning things and learning different things. So what demonetizes you today might be different from what demonetizes you tomorrow. Anyways, let's get into it. So the whole list is in alphabetical order. As you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. Green means it's monetizable. Yellow means it will get you demonetized if it sees it in your title and description, stuff like that. Believe it or not, a large amount of videos that get demonetized are because you put the wrong word in maybe the title or the description or something. So currently this list has just over 15,000 terms, mainly pulled from the most commonly used terms on Oxford Dictionary, the most used search terms, and the most used terms from Urban Dictionary. So if you see some really strange terms in this list, you'll be able to tell which ones came from Urban Dictionary. So of course it's not quite the full English language yet. Maybe we'll get there someday, I don't know. So anyways, you'll scroll through this list and you'll see terms like, okay, abortion is yellow. Okay, that makes sense, it's a sensitive topic. But then abortions is green. So you'll actually run into a lot of weird ones like this, where you'll have two very similar words, but one is demonetized and the other is not. I think that what's happening here is every single word has its own ID, and the bot has to individually test each single word and basically decide just how explicit the word is. So there are a lot of explicit terms out there that maybe the bot just hasn't seen around enough, so it just doesn't actually know that it's a bad word yet. Also, you might notice that there's an asterisk next to a lot of these. That basically means I've double tested a lot of these words, and sometimes I'll just get different results every time I test it. Whether there was just an error in the testing, or maybe it changed. But the color that shows on the word is usually the most recent result that I've gotten. But if it has an asterisk, then maybe it just could go either way. So all we ever see is if a word is green or yellow. But I think there's a lot more depth to it. I think that every single word has its own weight. So you basically have this scale where it's full green on one side and full yellow on the other side. And there's a line somewhere that when it crosses, it goes from green to yellow. So there might be some words that are just on the line, that maybe one day they're green, one day they're yellow. And then there are other words, like maybe the N word, that's so far yellow that it doesn't matter what context it's in, it's just going to be yellow no matter what. But yeah, as you're scrolling through, you'll find some very odd words that will get you demonetized. Like right here, accessed, accused, acid. Sometimes it'll get you demonetized, sometimes it won't. So you've got admit is fine, admits is fine, but admitted is not fine. And then of course Adolf and Adolf Hitler. Now here's a really interesting one right here. So the word adult or adults will get you demonetized. But then if you have the term adult swim, then it sees that as something else and sees it as okay. I mean, it's okay at telling context sometimes, usually doesn't know very well. It's not really something you can count on most of the time. But let's scroll down a little bit further. So right here, we have the term anti-vax with 2 X's, all one word, and it's yellow. But then you have the term with 1 X and it's green. Or you have anti-vaxxer and it's green. There's all these different variations of ways to spell a word, and the bot basically has to identify each one and tell if it's okay or not. So essentially, you can basically get around the bot half the time by just spelling a word wrong. However, if there is a common misspelling for a word, then the bot might start to pick up on that and it could turn yellow too. I mean, I wouldn't really suggest trying to put misspelled swear words or anything, because somebody could still manually come in and demonetize you, But let's take a look down here. So you can kind of tell which terms came from the Urban Dictionary. So, of course, all of these terms will definitely get you demonetized. But then you see some where it's sort of a combined word, and it doesn't necessarily see the first 4 letters of this word. It just sees that as some unknown word. I don't know what that is, so it must be fine. But yeah, like I said, this basically means that you can pretty much use derogatory terms as long as they're spelled wrong, or maybe you have a number in the middle of it. And yeah, I wouldn't really recommend trying to get around the bot by using these compound words, I guess you could call them. Especially since, if a whole bunch of people start using that term, then the bot might start to pick up on it and it'll start getting you demonetized. But this is definitely a weird part about the bot, that's for sure. But let's scroll down some more. Alright, so right here, the word gay on its own will demonetize you. I have no idea why Gaylord is seen as okay. I legitimately tested that and it came out green. So we've tested some words in a lot of different contexts, so you might have a title that's something like coming out as gay or something like that. And in that context, you might actually get the video monetized. But you can't ever really count on the bot to really understand the context well enough. So the bot basically doesn't want to monetize anything seen as like negative or hateful or anything like that. So it's probably seen a lot of things related to gay or gay marriage or stuff like this, and like seen it kind of related to a lot of negativity in some ways. Or maybe it's considered like mature content. So it might just assume that anything with the word gay in it is considered adult content. So yeah, occasionally you might have a video that ends up being green, even though it has a yellow word in it. But on the other hand, there are times where you might get a video that's demonetized that doesn't have any yellow listed words on this list. You know, I just want to kind of throw that out there so I don't have people coming after me saying like, I don't have any yellow words in this title, why am I still getting demonetized? Because yeah, there are a lot of little factors that can go into demonetizing a video. Basically, the bot will take a look at your video, it'll take a look at your title, your description, your thumbnail, your tags, and it's just looking for an excuse to demonetize you. So oftentimes, if it like sees a yellow word anywhere in any of that, it'll flag you. And as you can tell, it's not always easy to guess what that word could be. Like, believe it or not, you can actually get demonetized for having the word restaurant in your title. I figured that out the hard way months ago, and that was the main thing that set me off to want to create this list. As you can see, there's a lot of things on this list that don't really make a lot of sense. Like, North Carolina is seen as explicit, but North Korea, that's fine. You know, maybe North Carolina is flagged because of the whole trans bathroom situation over there. And I mean, well, I guess we don't really know what the trans bathroom situation in North Korea is like, so. But anyway, that is the list of demonetized words. I'll have a link for this in the description. Feel free to look through it, share it as much as you want. I will ask though, please do not make copies of this and spread around different versions of it. I'm going to be continuing to update this list as it changes over time, and I don't want any like older, inaccurate versions spreading around or anything. But yeah, speaking of updating this, I've basically just been working on this like part-time for the last couple of months. And I can continue updating it from time to time, you know, just on the side. However, I have no idea what kind of reception this video is going to get, so, you know, if there's enough support, I wouldn't mind turning this into a full-time job. You know, updating this list, finding new results, you know, testing out thumbnails, basically figuring out as much as possible about the whole monetization bot in general. So if you're a creator and you feel like I've helped you make money with this list, consider helping me make some money so I can continue updating this list and just supporting everybody. So I've just started a Patreon for anyone who wants to support the project. I mean, like I said, I have no idea how far this is going to go, so if I get 0 people signed up, then I'll just continue doing this part-time on the side. But the more funding I get for this, the more time I can put into it. I know this information's worth a different amount to everybody, so I've kind of just left it up to you to pay what you want if you're interested in supporting. And I'll also try and give a lot of exclusive information with new discoveries I find about monetization and more tips and tricks that I figure out. But yeah, if YouTube isn't going to tell us what we're not allowed to be posting in our videos, I guess we'll figure it out ourselves. Anyways, I could go on about monetization all day, and I don't want to make this video too long, so if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to support the project so I can keep the list updated, go to patreon.com/monetize. And thanks for watching.